All right, well, that company, Lokithor, I think it was a JA 400 maybe. I can't remember. Jump starter they sent me. I did a video on. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. They sent me another one. This is the JA. I guess I'll have to wait until I open the box, and it's a 2-in-1. Jump starter and tire inflator. So let me get the box open and get into it. All right, this is right out of the box. Comes with these things on one on each end. Pretty cool little foam pad in the packaging so it doesn't get messed up. Owner's manual. Let's see. Here's some, I guess, some specs on the back of the box. You probably ain't gonna be able to see it though. Maybe. If you want to see that any longer, just pause the video. Looks like it comes with, I thought that was 2, but it's 1 carry case. It is a JA 302. Let me set this over out of the way somewhere and show you the unit. Here is the unit. This is it plugged in, or not plugged in, but turned on rather. Looks like it's set to PSI. I guess it won't set to anything unless you plug the cables into it, but there's where you plug the cord in for the to use it as a jump box. And that's, you can use this as a power supply, and I think it's the top one there charges it. Let's see, and over here on the side is the port for the hose, and it has a light. Check that out. Comes with strobe, flash, or I guess that's SOS, ain't it? You just push the button in and hold it to turn it back off. Let's see. Probably wouldn't put the actual unit in here. Maybe, I don't know. But probably would put the cord, all the stuff, because you know the little box it all comes in. Well, actually, it's in a case. So maybe I would put that in the actual unit in the case. So let's see what's in the bag. This bag. We have an air hose, pretty long one. That's pretty good. That way, well, especially if you have a car, you could probably leave this thing sitting on the ground, or maybe even set it up on top of the tire if you got enough room in between your tire and your wheel well, and air up your tire. We don't know how good it works, but it's pretty cool, right? We'll just put that anywhere. Next up, we have the cables. They're a little bit longer. They're probably just long enough to reach the battery though. And then, you know, that's the end. One is squared off, one's round. It only plugs in one way. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Comes in a little case. That's pretty cool. And we don't lose it. Anyway, it comes with a bunch of different little adapters, air adapters for you. That's pretty neat. For airing up basketballs and inner tubes and stuff like that. Inflatable, you know, like pool tubes or whatever. And it comes with a USB and a USB-C. USB on one end, USB-C on the other end to charge it. And I'm assuming you could use this to power something else. Just plug it in and use the cord. I think I got a vehicle I got to jump off. So let's go jump that off and come back. All right, we got a dead battery. We're using a JA, what is it, 302 to jump this little Ford Ranger / Mazda off. So let me get the camera turned around and get this hooked up and see if it'll do it. All right, I'm going to show you. This is not even on. Let's unhook it. Just for people that don't believe me, hit it. All right. Let's turn this on. Now try it. That's the Nassau Sound Bridge over there. Hopefully y'all can see that. It's awful peaceful out here today. Let's walk up here. This here is some thick sugar sand. I don't know how good it comes across on camera, but you have to take my word for it. It is. Gets worse on down there, and it's a little bit worse back that way towards the entrance too. So I'm getting ready to head out of here. So let me go back up there to the parking lot. All right, I'm off to the side over here. I had to air down my tires. I probably didn't have to, but I did. Somewhere around 20, I think, 20 psi. So I got the Lokithor JA302 or something like that. It's an inflator and a jump starter. You seen me jump start the truck the other day, and I went fishing today, and I had to air down my tires, so I figured I would air it back up with this, get this thing started. All right, I hope you can see this. Got it plugged in down here. Let me turn it on. So let's go down to, say, 30, whoops, that was quick, 36. All right, for some reason, you see it says it's got 25 in it. It started out at 20. I thought that's what I lowered it down to was 20, but I was just really guessing. But for some reason, it only pumped for a couple minutes or a couple seconds and then shut off. So I have to bump the pressure up to like 50 to get the thing to run, to air up the tire. We'll see. That 30. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to air this thing up, but I'm going to look in my truck and see if I got a tire gauge to see how much air pressure is actually in here, because I don't know if I trust that. But I'm going to air the tire up back up to where it's supposed to be, and go back to the garage and then finish out this video, and I'll tell you how long it took. It says it's at 32 now. 35. All right, it says it's at 39 now, so I'm going to stop it. See if it goes to. Okay, now it says it's got 36 psi in it. So let's check it. That might be about right. Let's let it run a little bit longer. Put another pound in it, maybe. We'll see. All right, it's at 40. When it goes to 41, I'm going to shut it off and check it. There's 41. Let's shut it off. Check it. And it has about 38 in it. So now let's go back to the house. Okay, as you've seen, this works pretty good. While I was out there, I aired up 2 tires with this. It took about, I want to say about 10 minutes, something like that, maybe a little less. But I didn't want to run this down, and I didn't want to burn this little thing up. So I used my other air pump that's in my truck to air up the other 2 tires. Because this, technically, it worked, but you're not really supposed to use this to air up your tires after you aired down, for going off-road or whatever, like I just did. But I mean, like I said, it did work, and it probably would have worked for all 4 of them. I just didn't want to Didn't want to mess it up, just in case. But it aired up them too just fine. I did have a problem. It might be me using it wrong, because that was the first time I'd ever used it right out of the case or the box. Now, it says when you turn it on, it'll come to PSI. You can set it to bar or PSI. You see I got it set way up to 54. Now, when the hose is hooked to it and it's hooked to your tire, after it flashes 3 times on whatever pressure you have it set to, it's supposed to go back to read the tire pressure, whatever the tire has in it. It had like 23 pounds in it, or 20 pounds. And it was set to 36 pounds, but when I hit the button, it would only run for a couple seconds and then cut off. And I hit the button again, and it gave me an error code. And it said that the tire pressure was higher than what the setting was set at. It wasn't. Tire pressure was only 20 pounds, or at that time it was like 23 pounds, because I did it a couple times. But it still would run for a couple seconds and then cut off. I had to turn the pressure on here up to like 50. Well, actually, you just seen it. It was on 54 because I just hit it once. I had to turn it up to like 54 to get it to even run. And then, of course, you just got to stop it. It tells you a guesstimation, I guess you'd call it, of your tire pressure as it's airing up. But it was like 2 to 3 pounds off. Like I showed, this ran to 41 pounds, and it was right at 36. So that's what, 5 pounds. So that's a pretty good bit off. Luckily, I did have a tire gauge in my truck. I don't know if it's reading wrong or if I'm doing it wrong, or according to the book, I was doing it right, operating it right. So I don't know, but it is pretty cool. I like it. And right out of the box, when I jumped that truck off, it was a little Ford Ranger. Well, actually, it was a Mazda truck. Had been sitting for a while. It didn't want to crank, and as you've seen, it just clicked. And right out of the box, I didn't even charge it. This thing jumped it off with no problem. And I'm pretty sure it only had 2 bars of charge. Maybe it had 3 like it does now. You see 3. But I did charge it after that, before I went today to the out there to fish. And I had to use it to air up my tires. So there that is. It doesn't use that much battery as much as I thought it would. This one works really good. I like this. I like this company, Lokithor. Let me get some specs on it and see what it's supposed to do, and I'll come back. Okay, here it is right here. I don't know if you can read it all or see it all, but just pause the video if you can't, or if you want to see it any longer. It says it'll start a 12-volt system, obviously. Everybody knows that, right? Says it'll start up to an 8.5 liter gasoline engine and 6.5 liter diesel engine. Built-in air inflator. That is pretty cool. The flashlight has 300 lumens. That's pretty sweet. Here's some other specs right there, in case you want to read them. Just pause the video if you want to read them any longer. It's pretty sweet. Up to 8.5 liter gasoline and 6.5 diesel. That's pretty good. Something this small to jump something that big. That's good. Anyway, hope you liked it. That's my review of this Lokithor JA302. Let me hold that book back up real quick. That is awesome. And I don't know if I mentioned it. I didn't pay for this. They sent it to me to review, just like they sent me the other one to review. This one is awesome. I like this one. I mean, I like both of them. Both of them are great. No complaints at all. Well, very well worth the money. So if you're looking for a jump starter and air compressor, pick this one up. I don't think you'll be disappointed in it at all. Now, one thing I wish it did have is a deflator, maybe. But then again, it's not really supposed to be used for off-roading to deflate your tires and then re-inflate them when you get done. But like I said, it did work. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.